I said in my last video that even fans of the sequel trilogy like me have our own problems with them.
It's true. We only got 3 movies. It could have at least given us 6.
No, we're not talking about that. 3 movies is just fine.
Oh. Okay.
No, I'm talking about some of the choices in the characters. In the mix-up of the directors during the sequel, some of the characters' stories got left behind. You may think I'm talking about this guy, but I'm actually talking about the untapped potential of Maz Kanata.
Who's scruffy looking?
Like I said, I love the sequel trilogy. I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, but this trilogy is really what reignited my love for the franchise. But even the fans that support this trilogy have our differences with how some things were done. I think one of the major criticisms of the sequel trilogy is that some of the characters maybe didn't receive the treatment that they deserved. The most notable and most talked about is Finn. It's been duly noted about how many signs Lucasfilm was giving off over the years that he was one of the main characters and that he might have been considered Force sensitive even as far back as The Force Awakens. I think a lot of fans were happy that that was finally revealed to be true in The Rise of Skywalker, but are now ultimately disappointed because we haven't seen him fully tap into that potential as a Jedi with Rey. This even went so far that John Boyega has been extremely vocal about that character even now, a year after the end of the saga. But that's another video for another time. Today, I want to talk about a character that no one ever seems to talk about but could have easily played a much bigger role in the trilogy, and that's Maz Kanata. She's hardly a household name, even in Star Wars circles, but honestly, I feel like this is a character that got absolutely left behind more than all the rest. One of the best sequences of The Force Awakens takes place at Maz's castle on Takodana. It feels familiar, but the castle is such a unique place. Lupita Nyong'o just steals the scene. She brings such a warmth and vibrance to Maz, but at the same time holds something back. You get the sense that Maz knows so much. When she talks to Han and mentions Leia and the rebellion, it gives me the feeling that she was really friendly with the Solos over the years. Actually, in Forces of Destiny, we see her relationship with Leia before Return of the Jedi. She also seems to know a lot about the Skywalkers in general when she reveals the family saber to Finn and Han. There's a pretty good chance that she knows Ben Solo and what he became. But let's save that for later. Her scene with Rey is also one of my favorites from the movie. Maz has an instant connection with her, and the two just seem to have a mutual respect. Maz sharing her connection to the Force is actually one of the bigger background themes of that movie, and that's that you don't need to be a Jedi to feel the Force's effects. Lor Santeca was a member of Luke's Church of the Force, and now it seems as if Maz also bought into trying to feel the Force. The Last Jedi sidelines Maz is just one little moment between her and Finn, Rose, and Poe. I would have loved to see more of her in this movie, but in the end, The Last Jedi needed to focus on the main characters making tough decisions. It was really a movie about the relationship between Rey and Ben and the nuances of the Force, so there isn't much time for Maz in there, but also, let's get back to that. The Rise of Skywalker also relegated Maz to one scene, which is where I think I'm going to start talking about how Maz's character could have been so much more. Even though she had a pretty touching moment in The Rise of Skywalker and helped the audience understand what was happening, the novelization really gives her the spotlight. Over the course of the book, Maz is a mentor to Rey when she had tough questions about the Force. I don't know if this was initially part of the script or something Rae Carson put in herself, but it was such a great idea. Because of Carrie Fisher's passing, making her the main focus of the film, which was initially the plan, was almost impossible. There was no real mentorship to Rey because they had no footage to work with. What better way to provide a mentor to Rey than to use Maz more? They already have a pre-existing relationship and a mutual respect, and she clearly knows the Solos and the Skywalkers well, so I thought it would have been great. And what better way to build off one of the main themes of the first film, and that's that you don't need to be a Jedi to feel the Force's effects, than to have a non-Jedi be a mentor to the Last Jedi in the final film. Obviously, in the whirlwind of directors that went through these movies, it was going to be impossible to keep a consistent narrative going through the movies, but in a perfect world, I would have loved to see Maz's role in The Last Jedi be more significant. Not taking away time from Luke and Rey, because that was one of the key parts of the film, but keeping her around more so that she wasn't completely sidelined. I think also it gives us more of Lupita Nyong'o's wonderful portrayal of Maz. I cannot understate how amazing she was. Honestly, one of the most underpraised members of this cast. It's very hard in a franchise like Star Wars to make a character feel unique and new when there has been almost every character archetype done over the years. But Lupita Nyong'o was a breath of fresh air and absolutely sold Maz the same way Frank Oz and Ahmad Best sold Yoda and Jar Jar. If you can't tell already, I can't wait for Maz to make a comeback. I think down the road, when Rey inevitably tries to build up her own Jedi Order, Maz is going to be a key player. She's seen it all. She knows that the Sith crippled the Republic and knows about the Imperial cover-up of the Jedi, and in all likelihood, she knows exactly what happened at Luke's Academy. I don't think Rey could have asked for a better mentor than Maz. Of course, I want to know what you guys think. Should Lucasfilm use Maz more or no? Let me know, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.